Garden Wednesday this morning, and many of you gardeners are with us this morning. So we're talking about controlling winter broadleaf weeds. Chris Olson from Botanica Gardens here with some help as we hopefully wrap up the winter season.
It might not seem like an exciting topic, but it's nonetheless, a lot of us are proud of our turf. And this is the time of year that you drive through your neighborhood and you know who's lazy or who's real thrifty.
So true. So
because
true.
they have weeds all over the yard. Some people have a commercial company that comes to do it. And to be honest with you, I would rather have that than deal with chemicals myself. So you have to do it safely. But I brought some things that you might want to consider. A lot of us have existing weeds, so they're winter weeds. And there's certain products on the market that we call pre-emergents. And this is one which is called Weed Zone, which I love to use. It's by Fertilome. What's great about Weed Zone is you can use it in any temperature. Some chemicals have to be warmer, some temperatures have to be a little bit cooler. So this one, any temperature, you can use it during the summertime or use it right now. And when you spray it on existing weeds, it will get rid of those broadleaf weeds. It comes in ready-to-use spray, also comes in a concentrate, so if you have a big area. Now, we also got to think about, what about our spring and summer weeds, which are going to start germinating with this beautiful weather.
Right.
So pre-emerge, and you want to make sure you read your pre-emerge bag carefully, because there's certain types of turf varieties out there, like St. Augustine, that you can't use certain chemicals on it. If you do, you will have chemical burning, you'll lose a certain percentage of your turf. So you got to read it carefully and go by the directions. If you do that now, then your lawn's going to be clean. Now remember, if you have real thin turf, sometimes if you kill all your weeds, you have no grass. So a country yard is not necessarily bad.
There's a lot to keep in mind, a lot to remember.
I know, that's why it's easier just to hire someone. You never worry about it, but if you're a do-it-yourselfer, like most of us are, we're on a budget, you just have to, it's at the right time you have to do it. So every year you need to put in your calendar when you're doing something, and then you never fall behind, and before you know it, your turf is beautiful.
How long does it take these products to normally start working, and do you see results?
Well, that's a good question. You know, the pre-emerge burns within a week's time. Within a couple days, especially if it's warm, it'll start burning, your weeds will start wilting, that type of thing. That's the post-emerge. The pre-emerge, what it does, this is really cool. Most people don't know, this is a granular, or you might have a company that sprays liquid. But what it does, it actually turns into a gas.
Okay.
So you have this gas layer over your turf, and so when seeds germinate, they hit that gas barrier, they mutate and die. That's how it works. That's why if you have a lot of traffic and kids running across your lawn and you see the tracks of weeds growing, it's because they broke that weed barrier. That's when you have to then take your post-emerge to do that.
Feeling like I'm learning so
it's
much
only really
this
two
morning
products.
About weeds.
Only 2 products.
Chris, what are some other chores that we can be doing in our yard now that spring is in the air?
Well, you know, this past Sunday, I had the best time working in my yard. And I was cutting back my monkey grass, my ornamental grasses. I cut all those back. You know, if you want to trim your crepe myrtles, you can go ahead and do that. I prefer not to, but if again, too big for you, you can go ahead and trim those. And so also what I just did is I just mulched my yard. So I cleaned all my leaves out of my flower beds and I rebarked, and I like what's called single hammered shredded mulch. It's a little bit bigger chunks. There's double hammered, which is, to me, is very fine, washes away and rots quicker. Those are the things you need to do right now. And I also, which we're going to talk about our second topic, is how to freshen up your pots and your flower beds to get some color.
Okay, back to the crepe myrtles for just a second. There is a time of year it's too late to cut them back.
Well, it's never too late to cut crepe myrtles back. You can cut them if they start to sprout. You may sacrifice some of your flowers. If it's too early.
Too early.
A lot of people cut theirs back in January, and what happened?
And then they won't
we
grow.
went down to 9 degrees. So if you cut a tree back 4 foot and it burns, that growth burns down. But if you left that 4 foot, that would have burned and would never gone to the trunk of the tree. That's why you don't trim a crepe myrtle too early.
All right.
So President's Day is when we start.
That's the time to do it. Chris Olson, Botanica Gardens, good to see you.
Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you for that.